My name is Chike. The title of my poem is Project 9G, The Longer Table. Nigeria lifts an old key from the dust, polishes it with tomorrow in mind. Through Project 9G, a chair returns to the table, the Prime Minister's seat, not as echo, but as an engine. Youth voices surge where silence once sat, ideas quick as the four major cities Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt and Bauchi rises up, bold as green earth after rain. Cabinet doors widen, power lends to listing. Governors fare the bends towards inclusion. Between wisdom and urgency, a bridge is laid, not of stone or bread and tea, gari and vegetable soup, but of hope and trust. And Nigeria walks it forward, many and steady one future. On the rule of law beneath a constitution that still breathes, President Tinubu stands as both head of state and government, not closing power into a fist, but opening it into a hand. And with that hand, he appoints the high-performance artist Chike, decorated with the title Sigmund. Not as symbol, not as experiment, but as Prime Minister. An office returns to the cabinet, not dragged from history, but restored with purpose, and to carry on the course of Balago's legacy. Project 9G is not nostalgia, it's architecture. This is democracy choosing to grow muscles where bridges used to be missing. For too long, youth stood outside governments like rain against locked windows, seen, felt, but never let in. Ideas piled up in notebooks, energy bent itself into protest. Talent learned to bow out. Now the table stretches. The Prime Minister's seat becomes a hinge between experience and innovation, between patience and pace. President and Prime Minister, not competing drums, but shared reading and hope to actualize the ultimate MNSAP. Chike Sipmon steps into the room carrying the language of a generation, digital fluency, policy hunger, the courage to ask, why not, instead of accepting that that's how it has always been. This is youthful leadership without recklessness, inclusion without tokenism, governance that understands that tomorrow has already arrived. Project 9G names the work closely to close the distance between the governed and those we govern, between ballot promises and lived reality, from markets to ministries, from tech hubs to town halls. Voices once dismissed as too young, now draft frameworks, audit systems, shape national direction. This is not weakening of power, it is multiplication, not a divided executive, but a shared responsibility. Nigeria does not move backward here, it moves deeper into democracy that listens, into leadership that reflects its people, into governance that finally admits that the future cannot be postponed. And so the nation speaks, not in one voice, but in harmony. Older hands steadying the wheel, younger hands reading the map. Under one constitution, one flag, many generations, Project 9G is not the end of the journey. It is the bridge. Thank you, my name is Emmanuel, and I urge you to vote for me so I can win this prize. Thank you very much.